Hello.
Can
Okay.
complete the journey in a few months. Others take 7 years. And
Yeah.
I think the thing to focus on is it's not a race. You're not in competition with anyone. This is, you take as long as you need. I would just encourage everybody to make sure you finish it, whether it takes you 1 year or 10 years,
Yeah, definitely.
because the end result is just unbelievable.
I want to
You
get
owe it
there.
to yourself.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and my experience of it is, so for me it's also 2 years journey. However, I pushed myself. I really pushed myself to take the next meditation, to get back. I'm like, I'm gonna get this done and finished. And it's not like it was a race for me in any shape or form, but it was more like I want to see what's at the end of it. I want to
Right.
see who I'm gonna become and how can I practice this and become free and stop going against the current of life, you know.
Hmm.
So it was very important to me, and it's, to me, it's a blessing, as a gift.
Yeah, I think, Dawn,
That's
when
nice.
when we first started it, um, how many we were? I was one of the first few that you started when you did it online, right?
You're like you were one. You may have been the first person I did it with online.
And there was a small group of us that we actually had a meeting, a gathering that was wonderful in Texas. You remember, Dawn?
Oh yes, I couldn't
Yeah,
forget that.
that was so wonderful, and that was with a lot of. Do we have any of those first people on this call, Dawn?
I've invited a number of them. There's
They
people.
haven't come on yet, though.
There's other people showing up. Jacqueline and Ray from India, and Yvonne, Evan, Yvonne, Evan. How you say it? From Colombia.
And who is this lovely lady with you?
Oh,
Hi.
this is introduce yourself. Bridget.
Yes, Michelle.
I'm from
Michelle's on the line from.
No.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's who?
Michelle just joined from the States.
Oh, hi, Michelle. Welcome.
Thank you.
And where in the States are you, Michelle?
In Texas.
Okay.
You want to introduce yourself, everybody? Jacqueline.
Hello. I'm not sure.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, from Prince Edward Island.
Woo-hoo.
Oh, I hear that place is beautiful.
It is.
You want to say something, Ray?
I am Ravinder from India. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, we got quite a few people on the call today. That's really good. Yeah, I want to make this a monthly thing so that we can connect with each other. And we call ourselves a global community, and here we are with people from all around the world already on the call today. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different countries. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 different states in the United States. So anyway, this is what this is about for me, is about this connection that we can have with each other, and we can support each other, and we can look beyond race and color and creed and religion and all that stuff, and really know that we are a family. And we've called this a family, since way back when Jan. I don't remember exactly how that came up. There was a post on Facebook about your real family is not people that. Oh, here comes Shoma. She's from India too, is not those that you are connected to by blood. It's by those that love you unconditionally and support you no matter what. And so that's what we want to do. Is we want to be able to support each other. Hello, Shoba. How you doing? You want to introduce yourself?
Shoba, hello. It's Jan. I have missed you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we see you and hear you. You want to tell us about your experience with the journey?
How are you? How are you?
We're doing really good.
Hi.
Sorry, I can't understand. Do you ask me something?
I did. I said, do you want to share your experience with the journey?
Oh, of course. Thanks. Hello. Well, I am discovered
Hello.
different things about myself, about my judgment in my life, related with my body, with my relationship. And I had beautiful experience related with the relation of my parents, mainly because when you clean your when I clean my vision, my interpretation, I don't know what is the word. Well, I feel that it's easier for me to relate, for example, with my mother, and that was amazing. Then that is amazing.
Shoba, you want to talk about your experience? You were one of the first ones that I did Journey with online. Can you hear me okay? Her microphone was muted, so.
Maybe. You say the first about what, sorry?
I was talking to Shoba from India. She turned her camera off and she muted her mic. Let me see. Anyway, everybody, we can send each other Facebook requests. We can connect on Facebook. We can do video calls among ourselves. Everybody will be able to support you in your journey. And that's what this really is about, is creating these connections with ourselves. Because a lot of times when we're doing the journey and a lot of people may not understand exactly what's going on with us. And we don't always have somebody we can talk to about it because they don't, it's like we talk a different language a lot of times. And so it's good to have other family members that you can connect with and talk to and get support from. The first 25 meditations are usually the hardest because you have to look at a lot of things within yourself that you may not want to see. And so that's rough. And a lot of times during that, we need to share that. So you want to talk about that, Jan?
Sure. I agree with you. I think it is the most difficult part of the journey, but it's also one of the most important parts because you really have to look at yourself, complete and total honesty, in order to know yourself, in order to examine everything. You have to question everything. everything about your life. Why did it happen? Why? There's a reason for it all. As you work through the journey and as you near the end, I can't wait till you all get to number 40. It was my favorite. As you work through the journey, you become so much more aware of what you really are and how these things, in the end, they help to shape your physical person that you are in the dream. But as you work through the journey, you begin to see that you're real. It is all just a dream. That's not just a concept anymore. That's reality. And that's what you gain when you complete your journey. Does that help?
Yes.
Yes.
If you can't get it on your phone. Okay.
But you really need to be brutally honest.
Well, good. I upgraded my account to Pro, which means we could have more time, so we can talk about things that are relevant to you in the journey or your experience in it, what you might need help or support with from other people. And you know, anybody?
Well, I think it's been very nice to have a chance to say hello to everyone. I wasn't sure how long the call was going to be, Dawn. So I do have to get ready for an event that I'm participating in this morning. But I would like to know when we could have another one.
Well, it seems like Wednesday and Thursday are better days for some people, and Sundays are better for other people. So what I want to do is set them up like I did this month, only have 2 a month, so that people can have a choice which ones to get on. The only issue with that,
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, you don't always get to meet everybody, but eventually at some point you will, because here comes Shoba back. I don't know where she left. Is she back? Okay. And hi, Shoba, you're back. And so, yeah, we can, so we can hopefully set up 2 calls a month. Sometime in the middle of the month, I think is better for some reason. It's how it works out this time.
Should we allow for a half an hour, an hour? If we could, do you know how long you want the calls to be, just so that we can plan ahead?
Well,
I suggest, Dawn, that we have an hour, because between the people introducing themselves and getting to some kind of substance to be able to share things and then ask questions and whatever it's that we're dealing with, I think half an hour is not enough.
Well,
I think that's...
On this Pro account,
I agree.
We can have up to 2 hours. And I foresee possibly that we may have up to 30, 40 people on the call. And so for everybody to be able to have 5-10 minutes, introducing themselves or talking about something in their life or whatever, but we don't have to use the whole 2 hours. We can just use what we need.
Yeah, but it's amazing to have that available.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went ahead and upgraded to this. The first call I did on the free account, and it's only 40 minutes. But I wanted to see how it worked. And Jacqueline's going to help. She's going to tutor me on some things here that would help. She was the first person I ever did a Zoom call with, I think. So, Ray, do you want to say anything about yourself? Ray? You want to say
Can't
anything
hear
about yourself?
you.
Unmute your
She
mic.
has his microphone in mute.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Hello everyone. I am Ray from India, and I just met Dawn online only, and I was struggling with a lot of issues in my life, and that was depression due to abusive relationships. And Dawn helped me online only, and now I feel I am much out of that, all that stuff, and I am on the journey with Dawn, and I feel so vibrant, so light, and so secured with him. Even now, while I'm in India, but I still feel so much secure that I am in a family, and anytime he will come for me, anytime. So that's great.
Thank you. Well, I call her my sweet Ray. Jan, raise your hand. I don't know what that means. Oh, that means yay.
Well, I just I didn't allow enough time for the call. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, and as I said, I do need to get ready for an event. So I'm going to say goodbye. But it has been wonderful to have a chance to connect with all of you, and I so look forward to the next call next month.
And I'd love to do a worldwide family gathering like we did in Texas in 2015. So that's another thing.
Oh boy, wouldn't that be great?
You know, so we could maybe look ahead at that at a location that would be convenient for everybody. And
Sounds great.
you know.
Okay, well I'll say goodbye then, and thank you so much.
Bye, Jan.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love you too, Don.
Goodbye, Jan.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was good. Michelle, we haven't heard much from you.
No, not really. I'm actually in the hospital hallway, so I can't really speak much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you told me this morning that you had an emergency that you had to tend to. So, well, we love you and support you in the journey too, and hope to connect with you again soon. Anybody else?
Definitely.
Well, good. And Alexis was going to be on the call, but I don't see her. And so, yeah, I invited, I think, 40 people. And so this is a much better turnout than last time. So we're making progress, I think. Jacqueline, you're on meditation what?
13?
Yeah, 13.
Mother? I haven't sent you my response, but yeah, I'll have to do that.
Okay, well, whenever we have a chance.
There's different levels, right?
Yeah.
So many different levels.
Yes.
Yeah, Jacqueline, I have a question for you.
Sure, Mira.
Because you seem familiar to me. Have we talked before? Have you been at Dawn's place and we connected?
I was the one that did the global party, and so
oh, that's right.
Conversation.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, thank you. Because I'm just going in my head. I'm like, how do I know this woman? Sorry about that.
No, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's perfect.
Awesome.
Well, I got plenty of time. I have no place to go. Nothing to do.
So Jacqueline, I'm sorry, it's back to Jacqueline. You are on meditation 13, you said?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And you're taking on and you're sharing with other people already. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the meditations that I've already done, I feel like I have already done this part of the journey work previously. Okay, but this is at another level, right? It's more like so there was like individual working on me, and now it's like cosmic consciousness working on very big, huge patterns. So it's not just like my mom and my relationship it feels like Mother Nature and Mother Earth and those conversations, and what that means as a mother, as a in consensus reality.
Yeah. No, I
So-
get it. But it's just amazing that you are just so open about it, and you can just go. You see, I'm a little stuck in my consensus reality because I have a money conversation. Like there's never enough money, and whatever I make goes for unexpected expenses and other things. And I'm having such a difficulty letting go of the way of life that I used to live because I don't know how to make this transition for myself, that I can just trust universe and just go with the guidance. So I also have been making myself wrong for not being able financially to make enough, to feel comfortable and have it predictable. I'm in sales, so that makes it things more comfortable, more uncomfortable, and less predictable. However, I have this intuitive feel to it, and I know all of it is true. And when I tap into it a little bit, it makes sense. And then I call it I'm kidnapped by my identity, and I just get caught up in the things in the the treadmill of life. And it's like, and I feel disconnect because what I'm really deeply connected with and what's really calling me is to share with people, to bring transformation. I have spent my last, I would say 15 years of my life on self-awareness, self-discovery, expansion and stuff. And I read so much stuff. And what Dawn is sharing with us here, it's priceless. It's also something not everybody will take themselves to go through because it's so easy to resist every single one of these meditations. And sometimes I think I should do them again because, I'm this onion and I know I peeled a lot of layers, and I kind of feel that there's some stuff still there that is sitting and keeping me inside instead of being free and really live with the flow of life. So, seeing the people around the world that are in the journey and seeing that this is a considerably fresh conversation, that it's not like thousands of us yet, it's just handful of us. And for many of us, it's a long journey. Like 40 meditations is a big commitment. So wherever you guys are, I just want you to know that you can reach out to me. And there are sometimes things that we're just stuck with and we don't know how to kind of break through and step on the other side. So I'm here for you guys. You can find me on Facebook by my name. I'm a realtor in my regular life. So you're going to see a lot of real estate stuff. But beside that, I'm so much more committed to personal involvement and transformation. And I would like to transition from real estate into being this for other people and bringing what Dawn is doing and other expressions of being transformation speaker and sharer and supporter, because I believe that this illusion of reality that we all are caught up in is just limiting us from being who we really are and being free and enjoying the experience. And it was never meant to be a struggle. And for most of us at the personal level, deep personal level, it is a struggle. So that's, I just want you to know that I'm here, and I would be willing to have an individual conversation with every one of you just to get to know who you are and where you are and what you're about and what you're committed to and what you want to create and whatever else. Like, who knows what's going to come out of these conversations. So just reach out to me if you feel like what I say makes sense to you.
Awesome. I got a couple things on that, is Dawn, if it's okay. So Dawn and I did a few conversations last year on divine abundance. And that came to me as you were talking about still the limiting beliefs that you have about just receiving, that abundance is present. And it's always a delight to talk to Dawn. We have just slightly different ways of presenting, but it's the truth, I feel, is so in alignment. Like he's a personal joy, right? He's a personal blessing in all our lives, and he is that reflection of what is true. So anytime you can dialogue, it's fun. And so we had some fun dialogues that maybe I can Do you have a Facebook group, Don?
We do. Yes, we do. It's called The Family.
Okay. So maybe you
Yes.
want to invite me to the group. Okay. In terms
Yeah.
of that, because that's where I know on my side, I have found that because I've, so I do things a little differently. So I have a few different programs on things, but one of them is a trust your inner guidance. And so what I've discovered when I've helped people along those journey is when they post in the group. So when someone gets stuck on the idea that they're supposed to be conscious of their body versus they're just what's in their mind, then they can talk about it and someone else is sharing. So I don't know, does that go on in your Facebook group when someone's stuck on, let's say, here I am, if Mir was sharing and saying, I'm on abundance issues right now, help me out, because I can totally, like for me, I use a lot more energy work, right? And I would like cut through the chase of what you're saying and what you really want and just energetically dispel it versus you having to, be mindful of everything that you're battling with. Your words are dictating a great story. And I know Dawn could hear it all too, right?
Yeah.
The Facebook.
So I'm part of the family.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am part of a family, and I don't go there often enough. But yeah, it would be great if we all were part of it.
Well, the thing about the family group page is that I set it up to be something similar to this so people could connect with each other. And
Yeah.
people are posting interesting things, but they're not really talking about their personal life or what's going on.
So my question to you, Don, is this a private group?
Yes, it's private.
Or is it
It's private, and only people doing the journey can be on it.
Okay.
So one of the things I did with my Trust Your Inner Guidance group is I was really clear on the guidelines.
Yes.
Okay. And I was like, it's only about you trusting your inner guidance, because when you can learn to trust what comes through you. So there was no posting from outside what other people were doing. So, it was like, I don't want to hear about your latest marketing scam.
Yeah.
Or anything.
I don't want to hear about your issue. I only want to hear about when you realize, oh, I could have trusted, but I didn't trust, and this was the ramification. Or I trusted and I went to somewhere and I had this great result, because I want only that to be the focus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I think people.
Can I do a question, please?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Nice to meet you, and I am very happy to be here. Well, my name is Ivan Restrepo. I am from Colombia. Well, I have a question about. I can feel that I start or begin to learn about my life in that moment. I feel that my life is constantly teach me how to live my life. So, but I have a question is, how do you live that thing to learn about your life? Because in sometimes I feel that I can see everything. I can see clearly the idea that the life can teach me. It's clear. I am improving my English. So the question is,
you can.
The question is,
you can say it in Spanish. There's people here that speak both languages.
Translate.
Yes.
Yo hablo español.
Okay. Let me. Puedo darme cuenta de que el momento presente es mi maestro. Pero en ocasiones siento que no logro estar lo suficientemente atento para aprender la lección que tiene la vida para mí.
Somebody translate that for the
so,
people that don't speak English, yeah. And don't
I
speak
can
Spanish.
do that. So what he's saying is that the present time is kind of he is master like he learns from the present time, but sometimes it's like difficult to. Dijiste que era difícil, ¿por qué?
Be awareness to understand the lesson that the
Uh-huh.
present moment have for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he knows that the present moment is the master is the teacher, but sometimes it's hard for him to pay attention to the present moment.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I pay attention, but any times I feel that, oh my God, what do you want to learn me? What do you want to teach me? Because I don't understand.
So may I say to this something to this, Ivan? One of the things that I take from learning from life is that you're not supposed to understand everything right away. And one of the lessons from Dawn for me that works is, first of all, it's a practice. You keep practicing being present so you can listen. And the right message is going to come to you multiple times. So until you have clarity about it, because you heard it from either different people, different sources at different occasions, because life is speaking to us through other people, through magazines, through articles, through the writing on the wall, who knows where, the message may be coming from. But at certain point, you're going to get that clarity and you're going to get aligned with it enough that you will know that that is the message. And if you don't have clarity, don't act on it yet. Just keep listening, because it will come to you from other places. And it will keep coming to you until you have that certainty. And to me, there is this distinct way of listening that allows you to distinguish between the message and between your own identity trying to put something in, because your identity is always going to be trying to tell you something.
Of course. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful activity to pay attention of, is my ego or the life that I am, talk with myself. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's
beautiful.
fun too, because you're learning something new, you're discovering, you're practicing. And when you practice, you don't have to get it right first time around. But if you are putting on yourself pressure that I have to understand, sometimes you lose a message because you have to get it. So just be at ease with it and listen and keep listening until you're clear.
Be open and enjoy.
Yeah. And that's my take on it. I don't know how other people take it. So
I want to know about how do you live this part of learn about life, learn about ourselves? Yes, I want to know about that. ¿Cómo ustedes lo viven?
For me, well, I've done about 4 shadow releases shop. 5, I don't remember, 4 or 5 we've done, and every time it's a breakthrough. Like every time I discover something that was there, and I didn't even know that until I like show it and put it like in a different way. So to me, I know it's a struggle. It's still a struggle. I have to be honest, and I know that it's not supposed to be a struggle, because struggle, it's like ego, right? It has to be something that feels good. And for most part, I had a lot of issues when I was a kid. Like I have terrible experiences. Thanks to this journey, I've been able to move on and to realize that I can forgive and I can just continue with my life without feeling that anger and sadness and depression, all that. I'm still on my journey on meditation 15, kind of, like it's been 2 years now. I think this year I'm moving more fast, and I'm planning to visit Dawn soon, so I can just at least move some other. But for me, it's really difficult because when you come back, I'm a mother of 3 teenagers. Actually, they are like really big. So when you come back to the real life, you know, like, well, real life, to the dream, it's really difficult to keep up because you are distracted and you are, you know, you are working and you have your kids and you have, so then I cut up myself, you know, like, again, you are forgetting to, you know, pay importance. So that's where I'm standing now. I know that I'm on the right path because it feels from my heart that nothing has worked than doing this journey. You know, like psychologist, therapist, skills, nothing. So to me, it's a wonderful experience and it's a blessing. That's what you're asking. What about it's a blessing.
Thanks, Rebecca.
I haven't heard much from you, Caroline.
Hello. Hi, Don. Hi, Bridget. You okay?
Carolyn, you're far from your mic and it's hard to understand what you are saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Is that any better?
Way better.
Oh. Hi everybody. It's great to meet you all and connect as well because I've been on the journey now with Don. I think it's about 9 weeks now. So it's been pretty intense because I've kind of left everything to try and try and focus on it, concentrate on it. And I'm just up to meditation 18, I think now. But I just did meditation 17, which it's quite it kind of focused on something I thought I'd dealt with from years ago, from about 11 years ago. And then it released a lot of emotion, which it was a blessing and a real release, you know, for me. But afterwards, I did feel be a bit, you know, kind of a little bit exhausted. So I've had a few days now, just but yeah, I'm ready to you know, plow on with it. But I think sometimes it's difficult to get that self-motivation just to keep, you know, kind of that discipline to keep going further, you know. But I've attempted 12-step programs for the last about 7 years. I was in Alcoholics Anonymous, and I've also been to psychologists, therapists and things like that. And although like the 12-step program has been good in the past, you know, over time, like the last time I did it was 5 years ago. So in that 5 years, a lot has happened, kind of, without the toxins of alcohol or whatever. More stuff's come to the surface. So this just, I mean, I've never written so much since I think I've written more than I did when I was at school, you know, on this thing. It's like, you know, a lot of, it's cathartic, you know, it's kind of like it's all coming out, and it's just really, I'm really grateful to be able to connect, and thank you, Mira, you know, because you've been encouraging me to say, go further, and like you saying, I can't wait for you to get to meditation 40, and you know, and that's like, sometimes it's difficult because I can sometimes feel quite isolated, and I do that to myself at times as well, not knowing, you know, and so yeah, it's a good opportunity to be encouraged by other people that have gone before you. So yeah, thank you, and hi Bridget, it's good to see you. Thank you, and thanks Jacqueline for your videos. I watched the one this morning which was on like The Voice, and it was that lady who was giving a talk on. Yeah, and that was really good. I can't play back some of them, so I don't know if I have to subscribe or something. But, yeah, I'm going to watch the one about your dog is your best guide next. So thank you so much for those.
Well, thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, Caroline. I just want to say about dog. My dog is named Shadow, and he's a black cat. And that's really when I started doing shadow work, when he came into my life almost 10 years ago. It was like the world showed me my shadow. And interestingly, Dawn, I had to really go and connect with Shadow this past week, because it was apparent to me that he needed some more love, and he was having a few little issues. And so I really was, this whole physical manifestation of connecting and loving Shadow the dog was really allowing me to embrace something on a very deep level within me, and it's just starting to receive and trust on a bigger level of stuff. So I will be sharing that back with you soon.
Well, I want to say our shadows are part of our own psyche. They're not separate from us, and they're not these demons that we have to destroy or get rid of. But we have to embrace them, and that's why I call it embracing a shadow, because when we embrace them, we reincorporate them into our psyche, and we give them a new reason to be there. So this is in the introduction to the 40 meditations. It talks about becoming our authentic self. Well, we have to integrate all these parts of ourself that we've cut off, dissociated with, and we do that through trauma or through somebody judging us or giving us a hard time when we're younger, or through our experiences. We cut these parts of ourselves off, and then they're crying to be reunited with us so we can become whole. And so in the shadow release, a lot of times we kill voices, and I say we have to metaphorically kill our parents. Don't do it in reality, but we have to metaphorically do that so that they no longer live in our head. We give them all this space in our head that, and they don't even pay rent, And so it's about integrating all these parts of ourselves back into the whole. And then from there, as it says in the introduction, we can transcend this humanness to go into our eternal lessons, or who we really are, the eternal part of ourselves, the God self. There's one way to say it. And Bridget here has just done some work on that level. Maybe she can introduce that.
Hi. Yeah, I just finished. I can't remember which one it was now, but I did a shadow release on the victim, and realised that wasn't enough. And I don't see myself as a victim, but on some level, clearly I was. I didn't want to see I was a victim. Who would? And it wasn't really until I did some work on the perpetrator that I realised that I was the person that was beating myself up. Other people had stopped. The messages obviously had stopped, but they'd been stored in my head. So I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. All those kind of really, really disabling messages. Whenever I try, I'm quite sort of courageous. I've been all around the world, but when it comes to me, I'm useless. I've just been using these outward methods to kind of fool myself and the world that I'm bigger than I am. And now suddenly, recognizing the perpetrator and the victim, I actually realized I am bigger than I thought. And it's quite a powerful position. I'm not saying I feel that all the time. I think this is a catch for me. I was expecting, good old expectation, that I would do this and I'd be walking on cloud 9. And sometimes I'm on cloud 9, 10, and sometimes I'm on cloud 2. And then I have to remind myself that, get back up there and take a look at what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, make some readjustments, and go forward. I mean, Don always says his mantra is further, and I don't think there's any place you need to stop there. But I wouldn't say that I've really got it all, because I haven't. But it sort of seeps in every now and again. And when I look back on some of the things that for example, my grandmother brought me up, and I had her as a absolute icon. She was, there was God, and then there was her, and they were sitting next to each other. And suddenly realised that she was a great woman, but she was a woman, and that she did have her imperfections, and that I could still love her with them. But I no longer had to put her up there as the God that so I was able to look at her imperfections, because we don't tend to put God up there and say, okay, God, now let's have a look at your imperfections. Maybe we should. So yeah, there's been movement. It's very back and forward. It's very, I go forward and I go back. I get disillusioned, I go forward, I go back. But it's a movement forward. And I don't really know what else to say. It's worthwhile.
So what did you tell your perpetrator when you met him in the circle?
I can't remember. What did I tell him?
Well, you gave him a new role.
Yeah, I think what I did with the perpetrator is I just embraced it as I'm not quite sure what role I gave him. Comes with age. Yeah, that's right. It came as protector. So rather than have something that was beating me up, I put him in the place of, or him, whatever. The place in my brain was that it was a protector, that and it was a really great perpetrator. So I guess it's going to be a great protector. But yeah, I mean, it's sort of very much difficult at times, because you remember, you forget, you remember. But that's okay. I think as long as you just remember every now and again, you're on the winning side. So, and I've gone through I've been out here nearly 3 months now, and so I guess I've gone through them a different speed, a very different speed than if I was at home. And it's been helpful. But I still struggle with this stuff comes up. It's been there a long time, and it's going to surface every now and again. It's going to say, hey, you think you got rid of me, I'm here. And then you have to work a bit harder, because usually it's just toxic what it's saying. It's not giving you any nice messages like you are wonderful. It's saying you're crap. And you say, oh really, am I thought I was. And now when the voice says that, I can say no, move over, I'm okay. So that's me. Lots of love to you all. I'll hand you back to Dawn.
Oh.
Yeah, the idea that we're going to kill a demon and it's going to go away is really, you can't get rid of yourself. These are all parts of yourself. So we give them a new job to do. This fear of lack, Mara, it actually helped you in a lot of ways at one time, but now it becomes a hindrance. So that shadow part of you that grew up with lack and without, and had to struggle to make your way through, you can give it the job to give you the intuitive thoughts on what next to do. Like Jacqueline was saying, follow this inner guidance. You were saying.
Yeah.
And the more we live in the present now, which is really outside of time,
Yeah.
you know, is the more easy it is to hear clearly what we're supposed to do next. And that's what I tell people is we're not human doings, we're human beings.
Yeah, that's right.
So but most of us never learn just to be. You know, we have this thing inside of us that wants to do, and we consider our worth with what we did or what we do. And you meet somebody new, and the first thing they're going to say is, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
Not who are you, but what do you do?
Yeah.
And if you say I'm a bum on the street, they're going to say, "Oh, well, too bad for you. Bye." You know, because a bum on the street, they figure he doesn't have any value. Go ahead.
I sometimes when people say, "What do I do?" I say, "Which label would you like to give you that would make you feel comfortable?"
I didn't hear that. What?
I said, when people ask me what I do, I usually just sort of shrug my hands. I go, "What label would you like me to give you that would make you feel comfortable?"
Yeah. Well, a lot of people ask me what I do or what I do for a living. I say, well, I live for a living. You know, and you know, I had one old friend, because he knew a lot of my story. I wasn't a bum on the street, you know, for a period of time in Dallas, Texas, but he still wants to see me. That's all I've ever done. Well, that's ridiculous, you know. And I do live by donation only, so I never charge anybody anything. But this is the world of give. And so it's the more I give, the more I always have. And that's the leading principle behind divine abundance is that we don't hoard anything. You know, we don't just throw it up in the air either, but we don't hoard it. So we're always open to the guidance on where we give. And I give probably 10 hours a day or at least 8 hours a day on the internet working with people. But I don't charge anybody for it. It's not about that. I do it, and people say, "Well, what do you get out of this?" I say, I just do what I do it because I can. And I don't have to work a job or have other channels of income because I'm connected to all the channels. And so every time I need something, it shows up. You know, and people say, "What do you got, a money tree?" And I say, "Well, in a way." But, you know, and when we realize that everything that we have in our possession is a gift, it's just a gift. Well, somebody says, "Well, I went to school and I studied real hard." Well, that was a gift. You know, that you were able to do that. I struggled real hard to do this and make this happen. Well, that was a gift that you had the energy to struggle. You know, I'd much rather not have to struggle anymore. And so, yeah, so everything's a gift. And when we come from that place, we don't really own anything. None of us own anything.
But the truth is, whether you look at it from the realistic point of view, the dream world or not, we really never do. You can never take anything with you. Yeah. It's a fake piece of paper that says you own something, you know, like it's an illusion. It's probably the biggest of illusions that we experience in our life.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I feel that those of everybody that's doing the journey work with Dawn and that's having the experience of realizing what's the dream and what's true are going to be well placed in the years to come as people realize that their so-called reality and their monetary system is falling apart. And if they haven't learned how to receive and how to be present to what the gift is, they're going to have a hard time, and they're going to need every one of you to help them through it.
Well, and even the things that happen in our life that seem tragic, like Leo, are really a gift. You know,
Yep.
because, you know, we have a sore leg, or we break our leg, or our car breaks down or something. It's a gift. And when I can see everything from that light, then I know everything has a divine purpose, and I don't have to get angry or upset about it. I just move on through it. And so
the gift is, Don, right? You know that. The difference is knowing versus being. You know how to be during breakdown to the breakthrough. And so many people that have done any type of personal development or spiritual work know that, but they still are unaware of how to process it and be with it like you do.
Yeah, I agree. Well, and that's where, we take these things and we practice them. For me, I learned how to trust. It's really all about trust and surrender and following the divine guidance, whether it makes sense to us mentally or not. There were many times I was told to do something, and I argued, of course, at that point, but I did it anyway. And I didn't have the finances, or I didn't have the ability, I thought, whatever, but I just started in that direction with what I had, and this ability to say, okay, I surrendered to this. It doesn't make sense, but I'm going to do it anyway. And everything always fell into place. Money came, rides came, people came. I met people. Emiliano's not on the call today, but he was. He picked me up hitchhiking one time. I missed the damn bus, I wasn't angry about it. I said, well, I'll just hitchhike. And then here comes Emiliano. And Emiliano has probably brought at least 20 people into the journey himself. People he knew in Costa Rica. So, Yvonne came into the journey through a person that found me on Facebook somehow, and she lives there with him now in Colombia, and she's done the journey. So it's she doesn't speak English, but I told her
so.
But I said, that's okay. We got plenty of Spanish-speaking people that can translate. So. And we don't speak Hindi either, do we? Right. Namaste, Ji. Namaste. Anybody else want to say something? Hello?
Hello, Don.
Hello.
I'm so excited to be here. I don't know what to say.
So maybe that is a good idea to share with us, because it's a invitation to enjoy the process. Maybe I constantly think about it, because it's usual that we suffer our life, but it's interesting when you learn to enjoy the process. In that moment, despite of I am discover myself and discover my shadow, I can to enjoy this process, and it's beautiful to share this experience with you. Because it's usual that in a individual identify, we feel that we are alone. Try to do that activity to know myself. So it's interesting to see that more people work day by day to know themselves. For that reason, I think that it's interesting to learn to enjoy that, to discover ourselves in that process.
Very good to learn together because we learn to cooperate with each other. And I think we are interdependent on each other. I mean, the people who think the label codependent, and there are other extremists who think they are independent. I feel interdependent is the middle way. That is like we are learning to be in a family community, and obviously without any tags of any religion, race, or creed. We are all together supporting each other in this super learning event. That's what I feel.
Thank you.
Can't hear you.
Your microphone is mute.
It's my experience when each of us shares our breakthroughs from our breakdowns, like, you know, that's when we've embraced the shadow, that gives permission for every other person to do the same.
Exactly. Of course, yes.
Right? and so as Dawn was saying, if Emiliano had to be there to pick him up, and Emiliano is responsible for bringing 20 people into the family. And each of you are probably going to bring in a sense, more people than Dawn will bring in, because Dawn is the seed, right? Yeah. Dawn is the seed. He went through that transformation. He's planted, and then it's like a crop and a harvest are going to grow. Right. So it exponentially shifts, and that's why it's all around the world. And the more each of us realizes we're just doing our part of being present, you're actually giving gratitude in a sense to Dawn for his gift that he gave to us, right? And that is, you know, that's the real, like, it's not like Dawn's doing it for a reward. Dawn's just doing it because that's what Dawn feels Dawn's to do, right? Dawn?
Right. Yeah. I'll do it because I can.
We just do, each of us, what we feel like doing, and we share, and we're here to support each other. Then you just watch the harvest over the days and months and years to come.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like Jan was saying, she and Shoba too, she left the call, but there was maybe 15 people doing a journey when Jan, she was maybe one of the first people I did with online. And I met her because she was in a Facebook group and said something about being a survivor. And I made a comment on her post. I said, do you want to be a survivor? Or do you want to be a victor?
A victor.
That got her attention, you know, and she wanted to argue with me. What do you mean? I'm not a victim. I said, well, you're saying poor me, poor me, poor me, you know, and you're saying I have to survive this and I have to survive that and this, and I've survived this and this. Sounds like a victim to me. You're still playing that part of on the play, you know. And so, yeah, that's got her. And so she brought in other people, and other people brought in other people. It just has gone over. There's a lot of people that I'd love to get back on doing a journey that have, that's what I call gone on vacation. And I've invited some of those people to this call, and they're not here, but that's okay. As we continue to do this, the Facebook group name is The Family, and it's got a picture of a face with half of it's black and half of it's white, and a quote by Carl Jung. But yeah, that page was meant to be able to do what we're doing now. And so maybe that page will begin to be used more for that. Share your victories, share your, your failures or what you consider a failure, and allow other people to support you in that, because that's what this community is about. The healing center that we have the vision for here in Costa Rica, that's all part of this too. Right now, we have 3 people here from different countries in different parts of the world doing a journey. So, our vision includes, a greater place where we could set up and expand. And so that'll all happen. So, yeah, we just keep putting one foot in front of the other and do the next right thing and trust and surrender and just realize that it's all going to happen in a divine timing.
Well, thank you. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go, but I just want to say thank you to everybody. It's been really amazing to be able to listen to all of y'all. And by the way, I did I just looked at my emails. I'm actually on meditation 14. So I said 19. So I kind of skipped ahead. So now I'm barely on 14. But anyway, this has definitely motivated me to keep going. And I appreciate every one of y'all's comments. All right. So I'll see you guys later.
Okay. Love you.
Okay,
see you. Have a good day.
Okay.
A beautiful life.
Hi, Cornelia.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Thank you.
You decided to get on the call.
Yeah, I've been behind the camera for the last while, just listening.
So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about experience with the journey.
So hi, you can see me better now.
Yes,
I can see you now. I'm 17 and I'm on my 12th meditation. And I'm resisting it really hard because I've had it since I met Dawn last February or so. So yeah.
Well, good. Yeah. So you can connect with all these people that are on the call, and there were several that came and left. And did I add you to the family group page on Facebook?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Well, I can do that too. Anyway, we've been having a really nice conversation here with people, and everybody introduce yourself to Cornelia, if you want to. Don't everybody rush in there at once.
Can I just come in, Dawn? Dawn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can barely hear you, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just want to say hi, Cornelia, but I'm going to have to sign off now. So I just wanted to say thank you all for your time here today and in your presence, and it's been really good to connect with you all, and I hope to see you again soon. Is it going to be like once a month, Dawn, that we do these?
Well, I'm going to do 2 a month. Some people can't make it during the week, and some people can't make it but on the weekends. And so, but yeah, introduce yourself to Cornelia and tell her where you're from at least.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Cornelia. My name's Caroline, and I'm from Manchester in England, but I live here in Morecambe Bay. And I'm doing the meditations now with Dawn for about 10 weeks. And I'm on meditation 18, But I've taken a break for about, I haven't done anything for about a week now. And, you know, I've been going through that, like, I really should be, you know, like something niggling me in the back of the mind. You know, I really feel like I should be sort of keep pushing myself a bit. And sometimes it can get difficult because I feel like, I know Don's always there. I mean, bless him, he is always on the other end of the phone or here, but sometimes it's really difficult, you know, just to kind of give yourself that self-motivation. But I think with these regular meetups online with everybody, like you've just been saying, you know, stumbling blocks, some meditations seem okay, other ones, ouch. I don't know. The relief that I got from the last one was, God, I was like, it was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was a shadow relief or what, but it was. I felt like a huge relief, you know, just to share this with another human being as well, because we can like bottle so much up. But really encouraging to hear other people that have been further with the journey, and like I said, now we've got this space where we can all get to know each other and trust each other as well, because that's a big one, you know, is trust. I think this is going to be a really nice sharing space where we can all harmonise and help each other, and that's what it's all about, you know, being one love, being one. Oh, okay. Oh, Bridget.
Oh yeah, I'll be back soon.
Bye. Oh, Bye. Bridget, you'll have to come up to Morecambe Bay and come and if you can. We'll try and meet up when you're back in the country. It'd be really good to see
back
you.
at the end of the month. Yeah. Back into the madness.
Oh, well, congratulations on completing all the work and stuff. It's well done you. How do you feel?
I haven't quite completed it yet, and I must say I've been having about two more to do. I'm feeling a real resistance, which has been interesting. I mean, I've kind of been looking at what's that all about, and I guess it's about feeling that I'm going to be finishing something, and have I got enough? You know, the feeling I've got is, oh, I want to go back to number one again. I didn't understand any of this. I didn't get it. And I'm sort of resistant to, I don't know, go any further. But you know, I'm sure that will, some light will come on that. So yeah.
Well, Mira can probably help you with that.
Who?
Mira.
Mira.
Yeah, she's finished.
Have you finished, Mira?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Oh, hold on. Yes.
And the thing I have difficulty with is just remembering each. You know, you go through these sort of episodes that are quite painful, traumatic even at times, and then it's like they go somewhere in the brain. You've got to find them when you need them. And so I think, oh no, I need to do this all over again because I can't remember this. I can't remember anything actually. No, and I don't know if that's, I don't know what that is really. I suppose it's fear, isn't it? That you've done this work and you've done it as honestly as you can, and it's logged somewhere in the brain, but can you access it when you need it?
So let me just say something to it. Our nature is that we want to control everything.
Oh, yeah.
And when we want to control everything from the standpoint of view, not being experienced enough, not doing it enough times, that being a master at it, you cannot control it. And that is very scary to our identity. Right?
Yeah.
So when you give yourself permission to just go through the process and trust that it's going to be there when you need it, it will always be there. Because what we really are, if you look at the computer, the design of a computer, that there is a hardware, and then there is a software, there is operating system in which you put different programs in. So think about it this way: each event in our life created its own program. Every decision we made, it's its own automatic response to something that we encounter in life. And our brain and our identity, its job is to predict everything and to be prepared for every eventuality, for every way of being. And we want to control that all the time. But the truth is that if you're living outside of the dream, you can no longer control anything. You don't need to control anything, because you can trust that the flow of life is going to guide you. It's going to take you with it. And you don't need to fight for anything, and you don't need to struggle for anything, and you don't need to be ready for anything, because there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to really be ready for. You are ready the way you are because you are here and now. And if you give yourself space to just be with it and trust the process of life, like, you know, when you walk, you don't have to think whether you remember how to walk or not. You just walk. Right? Because you get used to it and you trust that you are going to be able to do that. And if you need to jump, you will jump. And whatever you need to do, you will do, because it's already recorded in your brain. Every single thing that you ever learned, have you ever heard, is recorded in your brain. And you will have it at your fingertips when you need it. If you let go of being afraid of not having that. So you need, my challenge right now is to let go of not having enough and not being in control of my finances, because I want to control it so badly.
Mira.
I'm the oldest sister. I've always been in control of my family, my younger sisters, my daughter, and I am a single mom. I want to have this security in my finances and knowing everything's going the way I can predict how it's going to go. But that's an illusion. You know, whatever security we think we have in life is never real security. And the only true security is what Donna is living by. You know, the peace at heart, when you don't let this identity take over and force you and make you feel either limited or small or unable or whatever, all of that is really nothing. And to me, the access to mastery is just one step at a time. Practice and remind yourself. So one of the ways that I do it, I just have reminders around me. I just have things that remind me, okay, this is what I'm committed to. This is what life is about. It's not about this particular moment where I'm scared and worried and caught up in some drama of life at the moment. Everything's going to be okay. And if I can only bring it to my now right away in the moment, then I don't have to suffer over it. I don't have to struggle with it. And one of the things that I'm working on right now is actively allow for abundance to come. To be in the receiving mode, to be in the mode in which life flows through me effortlessly. And I don't have to do anything. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't have to struggle for anything, you know? So one step at a time, and it's one meditation at a time, and one resistance at a time. And resistance it's a very big word. It has so many different faces. It has so many different forms. You know, it looks like we're busy. It looks like we can't get something or understand something. And at the end of it, just one step at a time, and one step at a time. We would, if we were the way we are as adults, being children, we would probably never learn to walk. Because it's so challenging and such a vast different way of being, from crawling to walking. And yet we did it because we had no idea that we can fail at it. So in a way, we cannot fail at life, even though we make ourselves wrong and we beat ourselves up and we make other people wrong. And, you know, I was caught up in making my ex-husband so wrong and blaming him for everything in my life. And in reality, he was just a figure in my movie. He just did what I probably asked him to move before I came here. So, you know, when you start looking at it, okay, there's nothing wrong here, and everything is a gift. Everything is an opportunity. Like, even this conversation, you know, what is the chance that we would ever meet and talk? And yet we're here and talking all around the world at the same time, right?
It's miraculous.
Yeah. So everything is miraculous. And the ability to remove one layer of your identity off of you and be free from it, it's a miracle in itself. So if you take it like, okay, I realized this is a miracle because I didn't have to realize this. I'm aware of that now. I have a choice. Once you see something, you start having choices. And then you have a choice to practice these choices.
Well,
okay.
So it's so easy to get caught up in life. Pardon?
That was the recommendation that you sent, that you told me to learn choice by choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so.
Give this back
It's
to Don.
also important to remember that we're doing the best that we can. Like, there's times that you are going to react, and you may judge your reaction in a way that you were thinking, "No, I should have done it in a different way." Don't judge your reaction. Just observe it and accept it, and allow you to acknowledge that you're doing the best that you can. And it's not for us, the idea is not for us not to do any mistake or not to do any wrong, because eventually there's no wrong and there's no right. You just being there and learning from it. But if as Mira was saying, you already have in your memory and your being everything that you need. But if you're reacting in a way, it's not because it's wrong or bad, it's just because for you to witness it, to observe it, and try not to judge it. I sometimes catch myself doing that, and I regret doing something. And when I catch myself regretting something, I just stop and breathe and say, I'm doing the best that I can. What can I learn from this? And I try not to be harsh on me, because we are so harsh on ourselves. Like, we are really harsh on ourselves. So I'm second what she shared, which was beautiful. I think it's really important for us to remember that we have everything. And I was watching a video this week, and there was a phrase that I really liked. It says, the moment you take your head off the pillow, you have everything you need. Everything is on you. And it was really nice to meet you all, and I was really grateful to be here sharing with you. I was so quiet for some time, just listening. I gotta go, but I wanna let you know that you have inspired me, and I'm going to return to my shadow process. I'm being leading on the side for some time, and I stopped myself. I'm being working on myself, but I haven't done the journey as it should. So this call for me, my takeaway is this: the inspiration of doing it and taking it, and it doesn't matter how much time do I take, but not to let it go. And also, I really appreciate that Don has never left me. Like, he knows I'm being there. He knows, like, I do one and then retreat, and then I go, and he's always pulling me back. And I really appreciate this time that I share with you all. I hope to see you again soon. I wish you all the best. It was really nice to meet you all. So have a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
So I also have to go away, but thanks for everything. If I can to share something, of course, I am going to join in the Facebook group. Thanks for everything. It's a pleasure to be here and have a beautiful life, a beautiful learning, and no more. Thank you for all.
Thank you for being on the call.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Marie, Cornelia, Ravinder, and Rebecca. Have a beautiful life.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have fun.
Thanks.
We'll see you again.
¿De dónde me salgo? Aquí.
So Dawn, I have a request for you. Could you please share with the group on the family page the guidelines about how we want and how you intended this this to be, to remind people what it is about and what it's not about? Because it's not a place to promote other programs. It's not a place to share irrelevant information. It's really for people to have a sacred space in which they can share authentically. And they can share their journey wherever they're at, whether they need support or whether they're sharing something that they're inspired by or that they discovered about themselves they want to share with others. I believe that both sharing and being a witness to other people sharing is a gift for both parties. So when we kind of remember that, it's easier to get yourself present to what it is for, and it's easier to feel more secure to share within the group, because I don't think everybody knows that this is a private group and the people from outside of Journey don't have access to it.
Well, it says that in the community what it's about page.
Yeah.
But we used to have a pinned message that shared all that, and
Okay.
what it's kind of turned into is people post things that are relative in a sense, you know, like quotes from other things about awakening or telling the truth or whatever, but it's really not, hadn't really done what I wanted it to do since we made it, because it's not, you know.
So I think it's also a function of remembering it and reminding people, you know, we just drift in different directions, right? So when you remind us, because you're authority in the field and you are managing the page altogether, so when you bring it into our attention, into the center of it, it brings people back.
Yeah.
And brings them present to what's the purpose of it, what's, you know.
Yeah, well, it says on there somewhere, this is a closed group, but I don't know if everybody understands what that means. And that, you know.
Yeah, so saying something about it is going to give people more freedom to share more intimate parts of their own journey.
About what it's really for. And, you know, there's only 3 of us that can invite people to join the group. And anybody that's not approved, that I mean, it's still on Facebook, you know, but
yeah,
I don't even know if they can tell who the members are. And so I've had people go see what that is. The dogs are having a time.
Yeah, we can hear that.
I don't know what they're barking at. Bridget went to see. So yeah, we'll post that again, and you know, this is a closed group. I think it says something like only those that are doing the journey or have done the journey with Dawn are eligible to be on this group. So it's a safe place for you to share whatever's going on with you, and it won't be, you know, something. Okay, so we'll put that back on there. Hold on.
So who else is on the call? Is there anybody who would like to share where you're at, what's going on for you while Dawn is taking care of this situation?
This is Ravinder from India.
Yeah. Where are you?
The dogs.
Yeah. So Ravinder, where are you in India?
I am in Chandigarh, North India, Punjab. And I met Don online on the Facebook. I saw his post somewhere, and his face was so serene and sage-like. And I was struggling in a very toxic relationship at that time, but I felt he can be of some help. So it was just like an intuitive call from myself that I just sent him friend request, and then online we became friends in the year, it was December 2016. And I was into very suicidal mode at that time. I was crying all day, and I was into depression, taking antidepressants, a lot of antidepressants. Every time I woke up, I said, I am going to kill myself because of that toxic
Ravinder,
relationship.
hold on a second. What you're sharing is very important. Bridget, can you mute yourself because the dogs are very loud in the background?
I don't know how to use the buttons here, but Don's coming back now. Sorry, that's why.
Okay.
I'm 73 and I'm not computer literate at all. So,
I got it. No problem. No
I think
problem.
they've stopped.
Okay, Ravinder, continue, please. No problem.
Must be the middle of the night now in India. Is it very late late at night in India now?
No, it's 10:10 here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you were on antidepressants and stuff.
I was into antidepressants, and I sometimes took 2 or 3 antidepressants that was like my blood pressure will drop down too low, and it was like I am going to die very soon. And that's what I wanted at that time also. But Don pulled me from that situation so well. I mean, it's like just God sent him to help me out, and he did shadow releases we did, and I completely cut off from that man. I was like going back and forth with that person who was giving me so much abuses, but I have overcome, and I feel so light now. I am not taking any antidepressants for the past 1 year now, though I am having ailments, but still I feel I have recovered. It's like a quantum jump for me, because if I think of that time and now, it's like a new journey for me.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for Dawn for that. Otherwise I would have died.
Yeah, I understand. And what meditation are you on right now?
Right now I'm at 18th meditation.
Okay.
Because I'm working, and then our time lines also don't match.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm a single mom also. And I've
How
got
many kids do you have?
I have a son. He's 18 years old.
18 years old?
Yeah.
I have 17-year-old daughter that was on a call for a minute. So we are similar in a way.
She's still on the call.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, I have done the journey earlier also. I mean, we went up till 13th meditation. Then something happened in between, and then I again fall back into the same pattern. But then Don kept on, like, he was very patiently helping me out. Like, he never lost his patience with me at any point of time. So he kept on inspiring me, motivating me, and I started again the journey from the first meditation again, and we have reached the 18th meditation now. So it's like I feel I have made a lot of progress. That's my feeling.
That's fabulous. That's fantastic. Congratulations. That is a massive step. And, you know, suicidal is something that not many people are gonna admit. Not many people know how to get out of. And I think it's a massive victory when you're out of that kind of mindset. And I know because I experienced it too, and how enclosed that can be, how limiting that can be, and how out of resources it seemed to be in the moment. So I totally get the rescue from the Don when he showed up for you, you know, at the time when it was right. So I also believe that it's like God sent,
Right.
because like I don't believe in coincidences altogether, and this could not be. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's perfect. So it's so awesome.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to drop the call now. I have to go. I just want to thank you all. Mira, I'll be adding you as a friend, and Ravinder
Yeah.
and Anna. I feel really blessed of seeing you all from different parts of the world and the progress that you have done. And to me, Mira, you're an inspiration to continue on this journey. um, I feel you, Ravinder, because I've been in this process for 2 years and a half now. So it's really difficult sometimes, but I know that with, with our own help and Don's help, we can make it. Okay. So
Yeah.
Don, thank you so much for inviting me.
You're so welcome, Mary. I love you.
Okay.
Have
I
a great
have
day.
to go. Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, well, looks like we still got some of us on the call. Uh, yeah, Cornelia, if I haven't added you to the group, I'll send you. You'll get a little notification say Don's added you to the group, and you have to say okay. And then
Perfect, thank you.
I usually say introduce yourself and welcome to the new member and blah blah blah. And some people will come on and say welcome to the family, and so can be quite a celebration. And also, everybody, all the members, I think there's 56 or 60 of us now on that page. Everybody's Facebook page is on there also. So if you click members, it'll give you the whole list of everybody and all their Facebook pages, so you can connect with them on Facebook. And the more we connect with each other and share our experiences and our ups and our downs and whatever, the more connected we can be, and the more powerful we become as an influence in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So guys, I think I'm going to say goodbye. So I love the conversation and I love connecting, and I have sent invitations in the meantime to people I saw their posts. So I just heard that there's many more people in the group. So I'll be very happy to connect with everybody and to keep the conversation going. And it gave me a little bit more of clarity of who's in our group, how big is the group. It was a little intimidating for me at the beginning when I joined the group because I wasn't really sure who I'm talking to. So now it's a little bit different perspective. So I really, really appreciate this. And yeah, Don, first I want to acknowledge you and congratulate you on the work that you have brought for people, that you have put into this, your commitment, your presence, your availability, and everything that is that you have been for each one of us. So I pretty much know that you know what I'm talking about exactly, but I want you to know that it is not only great inspiration, but it's such a gift, and it's a pleasure to know you. We never met in person yet. We will, but in the meantime, I just want you to know that this is massive. This is huge, and your commitment to connect us with each other. Every single time we talk and you have somebody nearby, you put them on the phone to talk with me, and you created these calls, and now it's going to be something that's going to be happening regularly. It's a community. It's a global community, and it's a community of people who are advanced in their self-awareness. So I think it's extremely important to be connected with these kind of people, because otherwise we're a little alienated in our own life experience. And when we have these people and we have a backup and support in the world, it becomes a completely different experience. Mm-hmm. So thank you for all of that, Don.
You're very welcome. It's been my pleasure. been my pleasure.
Oh, Dawn, I have to say something else. I'm so sorry. I came across somebody who's offering courses, and I'm not going to mention the name, but me and Cornelia, we were joking around that here is a young version of Dawn. There is a guy, he almost looks like you, and it's like 40 years back, you know, and he's on his journey, and he's sharing what he knows, and he's committed to transformation as well. And he has this long beard too, and it's like, it's so funny because the truth comes through us from different sources in different places, from different perspectives. Everybody who comes across it is so passionate to share with everybody else. And every single time we watch some of his stuff, you know, we're laughing that here is young Dawn, you know. So you have a clone out there trying to do the same work, and it's such a pleasure.
Well,
so just so you know that.
Yeah, well, the journey isn't the only way there. It's just the way that I use.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
perfect.
The whole world is waking up, and this whole consensus reality is going to have to collapse sometime because it can't hold us.
Yes.
And so,
people are growing beyond that. People are growing beyond the limitation, the system, and all the other artificial stuff. Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, are we through? Do you have anything else to add, Ray or Cornelia?
No, I am very overwhelmed to listen to Mira.
Thank you.
It's really so much. I mean, I was listening to her, but I was not able to see her face at first. Then I tried to scroll and saw her name, and now I know her. Maybe, I don't know, I am Facebook friend of her or not. I'll look out.
Yeah, just invite me. If you didn't share in the family, I didn't invite you because I didn't see your name. But invite me. I'll be happy to talk to you.
Sure.
We can set up a call and we can share whatever makes sense.
Yeah. Really motivating to talk to you.
I'm really glad.
Anything you want to add, Cornelia?
No. No, it's been nice. I was resisting this really hard. I'm kind of sitting in the background listening. And it's a really good thing. I just have to get over myself, I think.
Well, yeah. Question number 3. What are the obstacles that stand in the way to live the life you've envisioned? All right. Well, I love y'all. I'm gonna sign off too, and we'll do this again next month.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
I love everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Meeting.